Greetings, this is Maria Angel
This is Ariela.
and today we're going to discuss some topics about the book Brightest at Work. Ariela,
Yes,
we saw already a graphic chart about the percentages that people suffer from identity theft.
yes.
So, what are the most common ways in which identity theft do you think is stolen?
Well, the most common are lost or stolen wallets, credit cards or checkbooks, also taken by employees, by friends, acquaintances, or relatives.
Really? Well, it's very interesting how a wallet can contain so much information from people that can result in identity theft. Don't you think?
Yes, it's very dangerous because a lot of people um, have their personal information there, and if they're lost, they can suffer from very bad things.
Anything from that chart surprises you?
Yes, the data that surprised me more is that my information can be stolen by someone who checks my garbage. I mean, people who usually don't think about that possibility. They throw important documents to the garbage before shred them. It's shocking that someone can get that information from your own trash.
Yeah.
Also, that
Yeah.
it's the possibility that your information can be stolen from the company that handles your financial data. And you trust that your information is safe there, that nothing is gonna happen, but even in that place, it's in danger.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, and no one expects to find a person going through your garbage to find information about you, and that is really important to let people know that you need to shred your papers and your important documents because the minimum information about you can result in an identity problem. Do you know what shocks me the most?
What?
If you see that chart, um, after the 30% related to wallet problems, you see two options that are 15% both, which is taken by employees and by friends, acquaintances, or relatives. That's the one that surprised me the most, is how friends or relatives or someone that you know, it's so high in the chart. Like, there's still a 15% chance that someone that you know is going to steal your identity.
Yeah, they are people that you can trust, that you can think that you can trust in, but I mean, there are bad people out there.
But a friend, imagine how untrusted this world needs to be, that a friend can steal your identity, sorry, and and go like nothing happened. Like how
We need to think very well in what kind of people we can trust.
Yeah, and of course, as you mentioned before, that the first thing is wallet problems, then the friends or known people that you know problem, the employees, and in fourth place, with 9%, we have online transactions and problems and things that you do online, which is an activity that is growing very much.
Yeah.
So, tell me, Ariela, would you buy a product online with a credit card?
Yes.
I see that's a yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
In fact, I love buying things online. But these pages have like a safety environment where your credit card is safe. So I feel like a relief. I don't know if
Yeah. Well,
because
yes.
yes, no. Go on.
Okay, so well, I was just going to tell you that I also buy online sometimes, and well, the thing is that I feel safe because I don't use that many platforms besides, well, the most known pages that I can get in contact with them, like eBay, Amazon, and stuff. So I would definitely buy things online and put my credit card number. I know it's not that the safest thing, but I do it, and I know a lot of people do.
Yeah, before I buy things online, I need to check on internet the pages and the followers and all that stuff.
The reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. But would you have like a personal web page that show your real name, like real information about you, like your name?
Yes, like Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah,
like social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, we're posting this in a blog which has a real name.
Yes, and your picture too.
Yeah. So, but would you put your home address or phone number on those web pages or social media?
No, absolutely no. I don't like the idea that everyone can have my phone number or my home address. I mean, it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There are different kind of people there, even crazy and bad people, stalkers and all that kind of people.
The thing is that, well, regarding social media, most of the time, those apps or platforms, they actually ask you for a number. Like, I know that I can search a phone number on Facebook, not a name, and if the person decided to give access to Facebook about that information, the name will pop up.
Yeah, they ask you about a lot of things like your birthday, your full name, your email, and that's your life there.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I know that you've heard the rumors about Facebook and Google and a lot of companies selling your private information to other companies, and it's a problem that, well, a lot of important people are taking action about. I don't know how to say it, because, well, I think that for you and me, we're not that into it. Like, it's not like the end of the world. But like, if we were, I don't know, like a CEO of some kind of company, I know we would be pissed.
Yes. Yes. You know that TikTok, United States. I don't know, with TikTok and United States and China or
they're
like that.
Yeah, they're fighting because well, I know that the United States wants the app to belong to someone, to a company from the United States, because they do not trust outsiders to have that much information about the public. And yeah, that's actually quite a wide problem, I would say. And well, as I asked you before, a home address, that's something that some business, they'll put home addresses or where the local is, but I think I would never put my home address or where I am at the moment on a social media.
No, and there are still people that do it.
Yeah, I know. Well, for Instagram stories, you can put a tag, or in WhatsApp a tag with your location, but it's not like your exact location. It's most like the area you're around.
Yeah.
But still is very private information that we should be really very educated about what to share and how to share it. And well, so yes, you would put a photo of you online?
Yes, in Facebook or Instagram. Even when I know that someone can steal my picture, but because there are a lot of cases that someone stole a picture and
and they open fake Facebook profile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's funny because actually those platforms encourage you to post as many pictures of yourself as you want and as you like. And well, once I don't know, I thought about how can someone that I don't know, that I have never seen, have my photo on their phone in some part of the world, and that really freaked me out. And I actually don't post that much. I have very few photos of me, like I can count them with my hand and with my fingers.
But we have a low profile.
Yeah, it's scary though. Okay. It says that would you give out your credit card, ID, or bank account number to someone over the phone?
No. If I want to buy something online, these stores need to have a safety environment, like I said before. I don't gonna give that kind of information over the phone because it's too dangerous. Nowadays, even the prisoners call you from jail asking for that information, and we need to be careful. Sometimes I feel like scary, or I don't know, because I receive a call from the bank, and I think, oh my God, I don't think that it's a good idea to answer that.
Yeah.
We don't feel like we can trust in that phone call right now.
Well, if you heard it says credit card, ID, or bank account, I personally would not, never share bank information over the phone. That scares me a lot. I don't know if because, well, my mother has insisted a lot about that kind of information, and how do I give it, and where do I give it, and to who I give it, to whom. But the ID, I think it's something, well, that's quite weird, because in Costa Rica we have the online site of the Tribunal Supremo de Elecciones, and there, with a name and a last name, you can have so much information about people.
Yeah.
Like, it's exaggerated. Like, my ID, well, it's online. If you have Mari Brenes, you can search my ID. You can search who's my mother,
Your father, your sister,
brothers,
your brother.
sisters. You can see where do I vote, which means where do I live, if I ever got married, if I ever got divorced, my birthday, my age, of course, and that
The information about your family.
yeah, and you can go like escalating, because if you have my name, you have the name, like I live with my mother, you have the name of my mother. If you got the name of my mother, you got like literally my whole family.
Yes.
Online, you can just like connect information, and okay, so this is your aunt, this is your uncle, these are your cousins, this is where they live, these are the closest to you, so you most likely have a communication with these people, and it's actually pretty scary. And I'm not gonna lie, I have used that page a lot. Like, I've searched information that I need to know. Not in a creepy way, of course. Like, sometimes I need the ID of my uncle to fill some form, and I will search it there. Even when I was younger, I didn't remember my full ID, so I used to search my name to remind myself what my ID was. But yeah. So besides that ID, I think that I would not share bank information. But besides that, everything is online, almost. So Ariela, do you worry about someone stealing your name or personal information?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
I know that I'm not an important person. I'm not a CEO or something like that. I don't have enough money, and I think that nobody wants to hurt me like that.
Yeah.
But I am like a paranoid because even when I know these facts, I protect my information. Like in social media, I try to accept only people that I know. Also, I don't post my life there, like where I am or something like that. My accounts are private, so only people that I accept can see my profile. In Instagram and Facebook, I only accept people that I know, that I really know. And I also check their profiles before.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, well, as you said, I'm also not that scared of someone stealing my information because I do not think that I am that important and have like something to do with my name. But, well, to protect my information, as you said, I do keep a very low profile. I unfriend people almost every day, and I keep deleting people, and I don't post at all. I kind of don't use social media for me. I use it to check on other people.
I use social media to check the news or to check, I don't know, other things, and I keep a low profile because there are a lot of bad people, crazy people out there.
Yeah.
Who use the social media even to fight.
Yeah, that's quite weird how people have moved their lives to the internet. Like we all do a lot of things online that we used to do in a physical form, and that I think that has opened up a door for information to come and go. And yeah. So, do you think identity theft is a bigger problem now than it was 15 years ago, 10 years ago?
Yes, it is a big problem.
Why?
Because years ago there was not so much technology, there was no internet. As I said before, nowadays we need to be careful because even prisoners go from jail.
Yeah, that's weird actually, how they have access and
the phones or internet in there.
And how they get that information, because they don't call just saying, "Hi, I'm the bank. I need all your information." They know.
No, they know your name. They know where you live and a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and well, as technology is advancing so fast, a lot of people it's getting behind, and there's a huge pool of users that are extremely vulnerable. I know, like, well, not to say that older people, but older people often they fall for these calls, and they give information, and they have suffered not identity theft, but they have been victims of robbery, or I don't know how to say it. But they've been victims, and it's very dangerous.
Yeah, we need to be very careful about dot calls.
Yeah,
because sometimes there are lies.
Yeah, so it's very important for us to learn how to move inside the internet and what to share and what to not share, and of course teach the others what to share and what to not share. Don't you think?
Yes, it's pretty important to know that.
Yeah. Well, Ariela, thank you so much for answering those questions, because this is a lot and it's a very important topic to know, for everyone to know.
Thank you for asking.
A last question. Have you ever experienced, or have you ever tried to pass, I don't know, to ask for information like that?
No.
Really?
No.
Well, I remember that you once told me about about this anecdote about how you make yourself pass like your auntie.
Oh my god. No, that. Well, my aunt has problems with her bank card.
Yeah.
And I was helping her because she's not a technological person, but I can solve the problem. So I called the call center and the lady asked me some questions like, tell me your ID number. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know my aunt's ID number.
Yeah.
And then...
It's quite easy to... It was easy.
Yes, it was so easy. And then, where you work? And
Yeah.
I say, I know that too. Finally, she told me, tell me your ID expiration date. I freak out for a moment because I didn't know that. But then I remembered that I had a picture of her ID in my cell phone. So I told the lady the expiration date, and from one moment to another, I changed name for my aunt's name. I was
They were
so
calling
worried.
her aunt's name.
Yeah, I was so worried to do that. I feel like I was doing something bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
But listen, you were doing something good. You were helping your aunt. But as much as you were doing good, you were helping. That's kind of the process that people that dedicate their free time or their lives to be theft of identity. They follow that process, and as you said, that information, or you have it online, or you got it from somewhere. So yeah, it's quite easy. It's
I think that people who stole information are brave.
Yeah.
Because that day I was sweating a lot doing something that my aunt knows, but I mean, the people who do that is a really bad people.
Yeah, they're brave, but not for the good reasons.
Yeah, brave but in negative.
Yeah,
but by the negative reasons.
Well, Ariela, thanks again for your answers and your comments. It was very interesting to hear what you said and your anecdotes. And yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah. Well, now we are going to discuss the essay, Be Careful About Convenience, which is a response to an article that appeared in Forbes magazine in 1999 called The End of Privacy. Hello, Mary again.
Hi.
Mary, do you think the student is evaluating tenants for ideas or using tenants for evidence to support their own?
Well, as a response essay, I think that the student is using Penenberg's ideas and evidence to support his own, which are quite similar, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the same. He's using Penenberg's ideas to support his own ideas. That's why I read in the essay. What do you think is the thesis statement in that essay?
Well, the thesis statement is easy access to personal information. It's a serious and growing problem, and we need to tighten security so that people can enjoy the benefits that technology brings.
Yeah, when I look the essay, I think that it's that statement because I have the same. What type does this essay look like from the ones that we know?
Well, from the ones that we have studied already, I would say that this is kind of an explanatory, persuasive essay combined with a problem solution because, well, it does not follow the exact structure that I know as a problem solution essay, but as Penenberg's essay is talking about the problem, the online problem, and the convenience of it, but the student in the end gives a list kind of solution or advices for you to follow that makes me feel like it's a problem solution essay and an explanatory persuasive because it like opens your eyes to to what the problem is and try to make you understand the importance of the problem. Sorry.
Yeah, it was like a mix of those types of essay because sometimes it sounds like a persuasive essay and another part sounds like an explanatory essay. It was like a mix.
Yeah.
Do you know how many pieces of information from the end of privacy the student used in his essay, Mariangel?
Well, actually, there is a total of 4 mentions and 2 direct quotes to Pannenberg's article in the Students. In the first paragraph, actually, he before the thesis statement, he has a Pannenberg's quote, a direct quote. Then he used some paraphrasing of Pannenberg's essay, and almost to the end he quotes again. So he is using Pannenberg's ideas in an article very often. As I said, 4 times, 2 direct quotes, and at the very beginning it's starting to make sure that you know that this is a response to Pannenberg's article and his ideas.
Yeah, in the first paragraph, he cites Pannenberg. Yeah. It is similar, the student's opinion to Pannenberg. What do you think?
Actually, they are quite similar. I would say that they are like 80% similar. But the only thing that they differ from is, well, at least from we can read, is that Pannenberg focuses more on the problem, as I said, and how easy it is, and the convenience, and the end of privacy as the title. The student, it's kind of focusing, or at the end, it makes me feel like he is trying to get to the point where he is letting you know that these problems exist, but there's a way that you can continue using those services and being these, I don't know how to say, like, you keep using social media and online sites and stuff on a safe way. So I believe that they kind of differ in this aspect.
Yeah, I think that the students focus more in the idea that people must be careful with their information. Pannenberg wrote more about how easy people can have access to your information.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, finally, Mary, what is your opinion about Pannenberg's article?
Actually, it's a very interesting article, because, well, there's a lot of things that you can be quite surprised on when you read it. He talks about technology and how it's growing and gathering data from everyone everywhere, and the internet links all this information in one place. He also talks about and how these massive databases makes you vulnerable because, well, as I said, all this information about you is in one place, online. And he also talks about how people are willing to give on some privacy in exchange of services and conveniences like online shopping. Like, he mentions that a lot of people do not care if they get a lot of spam and unuseful emails if they can subscribe to a web page. Like, I don't care if I get 100 of ads on my email, but I have this online website to buy from. And that's quite interesting because people are giving up on a lot of privacy. They're giving up their email directions in exchange of that.
Yeah, I think that it's a good article to show people how easy they can lose private information, what they can do to prevent it.
Yeah, well, in the second half of the essay, Vandenberg is, well, I got that, well, he hired like a detective from a company and he challenged the detective to gather information of him because he was kind of sure that nothing about him was online. Or
yeah, that part of the essay was so creepy because
yeah,
who find all your information on the internet, and they pay oh Jesus,
yeah, like people pay to
people
gather.
pay them to find that kind of information.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It surprised me that the existence of a site, a DocuSearch, I think it was called, that allows people to investigate other people, famous people, or I don't know, but that the possibility exists and it is legal for the most part, and it's a job.
I look for that site on the internet and it's real.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That's extremely scary, I would say. And as much as we don't live in the United States, it's still a huge problem and a huge thing. And well, Vandenberg also talks about how the American law allows this. That it's legal. The American law does not protect your private information, like people, and that also, as you said from the last set of questions, that people can easily fool employees to get information. And
yeah, like the part when he said about the detective calls to the bank and said a lot of personal information and said all the things about him, but it was not him.
Yeah, and it's funny because the information that the detective gave to the bank was the information that the detective got from other source.
Yes.
Still, everything is super suspicious but legal, which is scary. And how the bank believed that he was the owner and gave all his records and his bank movements. That's very private information. One thing is to know your name, another thing is to know what you do with your money.
And how much do you have, and all that thing.
How the detective got like federal access, which is quite a big thing, a serious thing to think about, like government access, and how the words license and state convince people. Like if I call you and I said, hello, hello Ariela, Miss Ariela, Mrs. Ariela, I'm sorry. I'm from the bank, and I give your full name and your ID, you will kind of believe me that I have access to your information from a legal source.
Yeah, it was like the situation with my aunt and card. It was like that.
Yeah, well, what scares me the most about Vandenberg's article is that it's legal. That in Europe there's laws that protect your information, but the United States, being as big as it is and as an important country as it is, in the first world country, and the law does not protect us. It's public.
Yeah, all kind of people can have your personal information too easy.
Yeah. So I think I would say, regarding to Vandenberg's article, I will transport, I don't know how to say it, to move that information, that worry that he is, to our context. Like, we don't live in the United States, we don't live in Europe. What is going on in Costa Rica? Is the government taking care of this business? Do people have access to our information as easy as they do there? Because I have no recollection if there exists a site here or a company of detectives in Costa Rica that find information.
We start thinking about all the possibilities
that could this happen to me?
Yes.
how exposed I am, and
Is that easy
yeah, and
here in Costa Rica?
you and I, we right now, as we said before, we don't think that we're that important, that of a target. But what in the future? I don't know. Something happens, and you got a lot of money, or I got the lottery, or something. I become someone important, very important, and no one knows, right? And would something that I shared when I was in my 20s would affect me in the future? What if I gave some private information to a suspicious site and I didn't care because I was young and I was a nobody, but then in the future that information is in that abandoned site and someone takes it?
Yeah, it can be dangerous because at some age we don't think about the consequences.
Yeah, and it's scary. Or also, what happens if I move? I don't know. If I shared information right now, right here, of things of myself, and I move to the United States or to Canada or to Spain. I don't know, in other part of the world, and there they, as we saw, they have access to a lot of things, a lot of information sources, and else. And it's scary, like how those small decisions and those clicks can hurt me so much in the future.
Yeah.
Because it's just a click. It's like, I accept cookies. I want to share my email direction. I give permission to this.
We don't pay attention what kind of authorizations.
Yeah.
I mean, you enter to a web page and they ask some permission to something, to access to something in your computer, and you say yes, yes.
And we don't read nothing. Yeah, it's quite scary, but I will take those ideas of Pennenberg's, and it will be quite interesting to know what is going on with that topic, with the privacy in our context in Costa Rica, and in Costa Rica 2020, what's going on?
Yeah, it is safe, it is dangerous.
Yeah.
We are in danger. Our information is in danger.
This is quite interesting, Ariela.
Yes. Thank you very much for asking my questions.
Well, it was a pleasure to answer it. Welcome. So now we're going to talk about this article that appeared on a newspaper from the USA on 2006 called "Kids May Be Right After All: Homework Stinks," that by Alfie Kahn. Ariela, well, welcome back.
Hello again, Maria Angel.
Tell me, do you know what would be the thesis statement of this article?
Yeah, well, I think that, for me, is that homework is not bringing any benefit to students. Instead, they are losing part of their childhood solving them.
Yeah, kind of like homework is kind of useless in this environment. Do you know what are like the author's main ideas?
Yeah, well, I think that there are no benefits for students in doing homework. The amount of homework that teachers leave has increased since years ago. There are no research to support the assumption that homework helps the students.
Yeah, well, I remember that the article says that the amount of homework, as you said, has increased in 30% since 1981 in very young kids, like 5 and 6 years old. They have more homework now, and also that there is no data that supports the information or the myth that they call, that is that the homework helps kids to be more efficient and more educated, per se, something more smart. Yeah, and that, well, homework does not equal high scores, but it also it equals more negative feelings. That if you say to a kid homework, they will think more on negative feelings than to learn. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
it's like no more homework.
yeah, it's something sad instead of something exciting. It also talks about how not having homework does not mean that there will be poor students, right?
Yes.
So, what do you think was the author's strongest or most convincing support or point? What do you think was the strongest point?
When the author shows that there is no research to support the idea that homework helps students.
Yeah.
In fact, the author mentioned that effects in students' behavior, like negative attitudes that they get with their assignments, or the assumption that homework makes you more smart.
Yeah.
There is no evidence to show that doing homework can make me smarter than before.
Yeah, I also think that the strongest point is that there's just not evidence that as much as some people say that homework teaches kids to be good students, that there's no evidence that supports that information. It's quite a strong point. It's a quite strong point, yeah.
Yeah, there are just assumptions that people do.
And tell me, did you agree with something that the author said? Do you think something's right?
I agree with all the ideas.
Really?
There is an assumption that homework can help students, but I think that instead of helping them, homework increases the stress level in the students because teachers give them a due date and students should work against time.
Yeah, well, I know this article does not specify what kind of students besides that they're kids, but as a student that I am, I would say that homework, only brings kind of negative feelings like stress and anxiety and this worry that I have inside, like, and regarding virtuality, of course, that there's triple the amount of homework.
Yeah, it's like we need to do this and this and this, and it's for that, for this date, and we need to finish, and we need time, and we don't have time.
And well, because this homework has value, there's points in the game, there's a score in the game. I can assure you, that most of us are just thinking about how we need to just finish the homework, send it, and hope for the most points that we can get. And we are not thinking about, did I learn something? Did I know what I was doing? It's just more like I need to send this, I need to finish it because I have a list, an infinite list of homework that I need to finish, and it's just like a cycle, like homework and then homework and then homework.
Yeah, we are not learning anything. We just stressing.
And it's quite hard because I'm sorry. I know that there's people that is learning something, but I know that most of us are just like finishing.
Finish, send, and we feel like a relief when we send the homework. It's like, oh, one homework left.
Yeah. Now I would say that the kids that this article is based on feel the same because they have less homework, but it's still homework. Yeah.
Yes.
So, do you know of any cases or evidence that would support the author's idea of homework?
Yes, I read like an article that said that Finland, South Korea, and Japan are some of the countries that doesn't believe in homework.
Oh, really?
Yes, they prove how they can still succeed even without all that extra work after school.
Wow. Well, I know of Finland, I like this country a lot. So several years ago, I read and watched videos about how Finland had the best educational system on the world. Like they were number one, and their secret was that they do not believe in homework. That there's no homework. They let kids be kids and play and learn by experience more than just confining them in a room to do homework, you know?
Yeah, in fact, teachers in Finland spend fewer hours at school
Yeah.
each day and spend less time in classrooms than American teachers.
Yeah.
Finland teachers use the extra time to build curriculums and assess their students.
Well, and also here, for example, here in Costa Rica, there's a lot of teachers. That's what they say that the career is quite full. But on a video that I saw a time ago, they talk about how in Finland it's quite hard to get in a teaching career, that they are as valuable as a doctor or a lawyer. They are very respected because they are very important. So that the quality of the teacher is huge. So besides that they have less hours in school and they have less work to do, they have extremely good teachers, and they give the child the opportunity to learn, not doing repetition or sheets of the work, you know?
Yeah, I heard that for tests, there's no standardized test.
They
like
don't believe in standardized tests.
Yeah, they don't have multiple choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they need to know the answer of the question.
It's very interesting because, well, not America because it's not America, but the United States, they always believe that they are the first one in everything. But when it comes to education, they are doing kind of not everything, but they are doing a lot of wrong. And
yeah, it's like in the United States, education is like a business.
Yeah.
And in Finland, it's like a student-centered. It's totally different.
I believe that in Finland they have respect and they value students more. They're not an object or a business. The people really want students to succeed, and to learn.
Yeah, in fact, the schools in Finland, they're the same. There are no differences.
Yeah.
In fact, it doesn't matter your position, your socio-economical position.
Yeah.
Because all the schools are public. So they grow with, it doesn't matter your position, you grow with other people that have, if that doesn't have your same economical position.
If they don't discriminate by money, don't have standardized tests, don't have homework, and they have the best educational system, they must be doing something right that we are not doing right. I think we can learn and we should learn a lot from that country and from Korea and Japan. I think that you said
yes,
that they're doing something great, something that is helping students, but it's not overwhelming them with those negative feelings that the author says that homework brings, that I believe is true.
Yeah, I think that is true too.
So, what do you think, what's your opinion, your personal opinion, not the country's, about the subject on the article? Do you believe in homework?
I don't believe in homework. I think that the author is right. If you are a student, you will understand the pressure that homework can generate to you. It's not just one homework per week. it can be one homework per subject. Imagine if you are taking four subjects, four homeworks per week.
Yeah.
That due date. Imagine how stressful can be. Sometimes homework demands memorize something or buy things that you will not use later. It will be a waste of time because you learn nothing because you only memorize for that day, for that exposition or something like that, and also you waste your money buying things that you will don't need later.
Yeah, well, I think that if you take away the negativity that is around studying, actually, it shouldn't be there, but it is. I think that less stressed people, happier people, can learn better, can do things better, can feel better. And yeah, I also do not believe in homework. I think it's important to practice, important to learn by your own, but imposing practice to someone, and the worst thing is giving like a score to it, because, well, if you gave me, I don't know, if you're a teacher, you gave me homework, and first, if there's no points, there's no value around, I will doubt a lot just to do it. And if there's points around, like involving the homework, I will just do it to finish it, as I said. You know?
Yeah, it's just like we are accustomed to do it.
Yeah.
If the homework doesn't have value, it's like, oh, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I think, and I don't want to do it. But if the homework has value, a percentage, it's like, I need to do it. But I don't want, but I need to do it.
You know, we're talking about how in the United States education is a business. But if you think about it, right now here, for us, it's also a business, but well, not involving that much money. Because if you think, well, I do homework, but they're not, quote, paying me, quote, which means points, a percentage, then I won't do it, or I won't do it as well as I would do it, as I can do it. So for us, it's a business too. It's like, if you pay me with points, I will do a good job, or at least I will do a job enough to get some points, you know?
Yeah, you're right. I don't think about that.
Well, it's very interesting how, well, I keep in mind Finland, because it seems like they are doing extremely good and having these innovative ideas of education. And it's also interesting how the association of homework of education can be negative feelings. And it's sad, because learning should not be a punishment, you know?
Yeah. You need to do it by, like
you want to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Ariela, thank you so much for commenting these things today. It was very interesting. A pleasure to have you, of course.
Thank you.
I really hope that I was a pleasure. Thank you so much for hearing this. If you like what you heard, we will really appreciate if you follow us on this vlog. And yeah, thank you.